Chapter 10.
By now, everyone can see that Chris has taken an interest in Anne. Although Anne has never been anywhere or done anything outside of the Welcome Center, Chris notices that she is in much better condition than the other women who venture into the streets these days. Anne hangs on his every word as he educates the group about the current state of things and how to stay out of trouble. Chris and Anne decide to go take a look to see if there's anything they can scavenge from the now destroyed Welcome Center. Ruth stays with Mika, who is sleeping off the effects of the happy pen. As Ruth sits on the front steps, watching protectively over Mika, a figure approaches. It is Hank, seeing his daughter after so many years. After a moment, she realizes she is being watched. She wheels around and shrieks in surprise. It takes her a moment to overcome her confusion, but then she runs to him and hugs him tightly. The touching moment is ruined immediately by his overwhelming odor. She wiggles out of his hug, coughing and gasping. Hank explains, "I've been in the pit. I must have gotten some of the pit on me." They both start laughing and crying, and from a few feet away, Hank begins to explain. He has heard rumors about some foreigners visiting and thought one of them might be Ruth. Then he saw her at the pit and decided to approach her. He warns her, in the strongest terms, that she must avoid the Patriots at all costs and must, by any means possible, escape from this land with all of its troubles. They talk for a while, then Anne and Chris return from their mission to the Welcome Center. Their clothes and hair suggest they did more than just look for supplies. Chris sees Hank and they eye each other warily. It is clear the old disputes still linger. Chris finally admits he is glad to see the old man is still alive. On the other hand, he explains how that could make trouble for all of them if the Patriots were to find out. As they discuss it, Mika rouses from his nap and immediately begins to demand that he and Ruth should leave by any means possible as soon as they can from, in his words, this terrible, ruined place. Chris objects. He is proud of his homeland and feels offended. He insists that life here is as good as life anywhere else, at least for the things that truly matter, like home, family, and God. Ruth and Mika are not swayed by that argument, saying they have all of those things back in Europe, when they also have food, shelter, clothing, and running water. Chris struggles to explain why he can't imagine leaving his homeland, no matter how things look to the rest of them.
It's my home, I have a life here. I have all I need most of the time. What's out there for me? Starting over's too hard. I have a life here, and most of the time it's fine. I have a life here, and most of the time it's fine. It's my home, I have a life here.
You call this living?
I have all I need.
What?
Most of the time.
I can't see it.
What's out there for me?
The whole wide world.
Starting over's too hard.
You'll be fine.
I have a life here,
You call this living?
and most of the time it's fine.